My next question for you is, when are you going to the US? We need you.
Well, the U.S. is a very developed market. There are actually several competitors there, not competitors, but companies doing running similar business models over there, and they're doing actually extremely well. And so this is a service that I'd say is more suitable for Asia, but nonetheless, even in the U.S., it's doing quite well because convenience is something that everyone needs and likes. Sometimes it's a luxury, but you know, and that's why, you know, we feel strongly about this business model, and I think it'll do really well in Asia.
Thanks. All right, so we are opening up for Q&A right now. Being the moderator, always have the liberty to ask the first questions. This is going to be a general questions. Apparently, all three of you are successful entrepreneurs and also innovative talents. There's always a saying that the more brains you can gather up under your roof, the better you are. So my questions for you is, how do you identify, nurture, develop, and leverage the innovative talents within your firm? So if I may...
Sure. Well, you know, as background, I came from the finance industry. First time starting my own business. I think very early on, actually, you know, in answer to your questions, recognizing that I don't know most of the things that I need to be doing, but, you know, my ability is to pull together resources, pull together talent, and open to saying to my colleague, whether peer or maybe more junior in the firm, to say that, you know, oh, I actually don't know how to do that, you know, and to be able to really then tap into their skill set and have them really contribute. I think that, to me, was, you know, what really built today what we are.
I'm too diversified, always think of many ideas, and how to select project that we want to put resources in. I mean, the selection is something that I always struggle. And but the key point is that impact. Is it impact to the society? Is it solve people's pain? And I have a couple rules for me to do that kind of selection. And then about the team formation, how to get the right people, because I do investment as well. And somehow I have an idea. I talk to people and I want to either build my own team or I pass my idea to some people who is interested in this topic, and then I invest. So to select a suitable people is another struggle for me. Finally is passion. If we gather the passionate team with the right direction, and even though we know that there's a lot of challenge or very tough situation, I think we can get it done and solve that.
I would agree, you know, with Alan. I think having a sense of purpose is very important. I think without purpose, and the other factor I would say is culture, you know, you might be able to raise a fundraising round, you'd attract talent, but I think they'd leave quickly. And so for us, I think, you know, I ran 2 businesses. I started another business before this, and so one of the things I think we've learned is just to make sure sense of purpose and have great culture, and people will naturally want to stay at the firm.
Okay. Great, thanks for sharing it. Okay, this one is coming from the audience, so it applies to all 3 of you. So can you name one major challenge of being an entrepreneur in Hong Kong? So I'm going to go with Eric first.
Sure. Well, I think I shared earlier, I think as a nowadays, a lot of startups, a lot of entrepreneurship somehow will have technology involved in that to be able to be really able to disrupt. I think Hong Kong does have one shortcoming, is the fact that there's not enough engineering talent here. So that was definitely the biggest obstacle for us at the very, very start. But again, luckily, we border China, which really has a lot of talent in this space, so we're able to resolve that.
Great, thank you.
I think the market size in Hong Kong is too small. And if we are investing a project, only rely on the sales from Hong Kong may not be expandable. So that we have to change our team's mind. It is more international. And no matter it is a China market, US market, and we have to have an international mindset to the team. And Hong Kong, we need to treat it as a test bed, very quick response, and the people's, their standard, their requirement is so harsh, and we have to think of this way. Otherwise, only do local market it is the most difficult challenge for all the startups.
Thank you.
I would actually echo that same point. Typically, when you have a startup coming out, you come and get a seed round or an A round. I think the issue time and time again is that the addressable market in Hong Kong tends to be too small. Investors who invest in you will be looking for this to be a stepping stone market. Similar to what Alan talked about, it's a great place to test out your concept. Obviously, for certain markets, it's a great place to be in. For instance, in our business, Hong Kong, it's a wonderful market. But for many other technology or other other types of startups, it is really just a stepping stone. So you need to definitely have a robust expansion plan in order to be able to secure more funding.
Okay, thank you very much. So being a number cruncher, I think I like these questions the most. So how do you set up your pricing and also your earning strategy? So again, I'm going to go with you. Eric first.
Sure. Well, pricing and earning strategy. Well, our business model, the way that we monetize is very similar to, say, the hotel business, right? So we get a commission from our suppliers. Our suppliers actually would recommend a selling price to us. So most of the time we'll be providing that selling price. But at the same time, the market is dynamic. So we do have dynamic pricing as well. So meaning we will be crawling any sort of relevant website to understand what's the prices out there, but also actually offline, because as I shared, a lot of our services are actually consumed or technically bought and consumed offline. So we have a team that goes around really like, a mom and pop travel agents on Patong Street in Phuket to understand what's the pricing, and we would like to match that. And then obviously then there's a cut, which is our commission.
All right, thank you.
We charge by value, not by cost. So that we need to stand strictly our value. And that's why from the market, many people said, hey, Alan's products are so expensive. But we also have another extreme, is that in order to get the market share, we can give away. Free of charge, not a problem. Give it a try, and then we gain the market. Let people to experience the product, and then they understand the value. Then we can charge high. So first principle is we charge by value, not by the cost. And we offer the free trial, let people to get the experience for a certain period of time, and then we charge back to normal. So that is the strategy.
Thank you.
Our pricing is based on a subscription model, so similar to Netflix or Spotify. And so one of the objectives for us is to encourage users to continue to use our service over time. And so price stability is very important. This is a very a stark contrast to the self-storage industry, or the kind of, in Hong Kong you call it mini storage industry, where you'd see price hikes every single year. And so that is the premise in which how we price our products and our services. But obviously we would benchmark against mini storage players in Hong Kong too. And we're able to price at a discount to them, mainly because our business model allows us to do that. And so, you know, that's generally how we price it.
Great, thank you. And also, I already give you guys a heads up in the room. So apparently, of course, all three of you are very successful entrepreneurs. And as we all know, that life is always not a smooth journey. And then, you know, when it first started, there's going to be some not very successful stories and failures, whatever you want to call it. So if you don't mind, can you share with me, you know, your not so successful stories, and how do you really learn from it so that you can get to where you are right now? So again, I'm going to start with you first.
Sure. I think as a new business, and really as a first-time entrepreneur with no track record, the hardest thing is to earn trust from your business partners. And in our industry, there are really large businesses as well as small businesses. But when we deal with the large businesses, that was the hardest part. There's a saying in Cantonese, 不打不相識, which means that, you know, if you don't fight it out, you don't get to know each other. And that's what the thing that we did. Because we had doors closed, you know, really in our face when we were approaching some of the businesses in Hong Kong, meaning, oh, we're trying to approach them, hey, can we work together? And we were like, no, you know, it's too risky to try this new method, which is understandable because it's a new business. So what we end up doing is we went near those merchant partners and we started giving out brochures to the travelers who were heading to those attractions. And because we were there and they felt like we were disrupting the business, or we felt like we were a nuisance to them, and then they were then actually was like, hey, actually, let's discuss, you know, what's going on. And then that's what really then, you know, brought us to getting a direct contract with them and then further building the business together. And obviously now they're also realizing that online and mobile has so much more opportunity than the traditional method of selling. So I would say the grit to do what you aspire to do is very important, and not to give up kind of along the way, and to really kind of stick to it.
Thanks, Eric. Thanks for sharing. Ellen?
For me, for the name story business, the personalized book project, actually how to balance the charity and the business. Why I initiate this project? Because of our young education or young kids. We want to do education for our young kids, and we want to bring our love to them. We want to give them the best story, let them to be the part of the story. So I have a charity project that give away the book, encourage parents and children to read. On the other hand, we have to do business. Otherwise, it is not a sustainable business. And I still remember we start from 2014, and then we launched the book in 2015, and also we sell it in online. At that moment, just from Facebook channel, we can get pretty good orders. And however, life is keep changing. Facebook changed the rule, need everybody to pay, and then to get the advertisement or to get the reach to the fans. And it is a big impact to us because we even pay, and it doesn't mean that people will buy. So at the same time, we have to support the charity, how to do. So I was struggling a lot because of that. And we know that people keep saying that O2O, online to offline, and how to make the model suitable our publishing industry. And especially, I put it in the bookstore, try to sell it, and nobody understand what is personalized book, because people can experience online but not offline. They treat it as a normal book. So I was struggling to have a balance for that. And then, because the time is not enough, maybe later on you can read some article from the newspaper and magazine, you know the answer, how I solve this problem.
All right, thank you very much.
This is my second business. My first business was in Shanghai. I started a e-commerce business selling, funny enough, women's apparel. We were trying to replicate the ASOS model, the ASOS model in the UK, in China, and that was a painful experience for us. We learned a lot. Obviously, we failed for various reasons, but I think one of the things that came out of that was great is that looking back, it's wise to start something where you know a little bit in the industry, and so I think and something where you can solve a bigger problem, and so that's why after that company closed down, we went on to start Boxful because space is a big issue in Hong Kong, and whenever you're solving a big problem, you'll tend to have demand in that sector.
Thank you very much. I know we are down to 1 minute, but before we conclude, we have many young entrepreneurs and members, from Europe, from North America, from Asia region. In less than 30 seconds, can you give the words of wisdom to those entrepreneurs and young startup companies out there? So what are your words of wisdom? 30 seconds.
Yeah, I would say there's a saying being big fish eat small fish. I think in the new digital era and the new economy, it's about fast fish eat slow fish. So to be able to be agile and move fast is so much more important than it was before. And any dinosaurs can be disrupted if you move fast enough and agile enough.
All right, thank you.
If you find anything that you are interested and passionate, go ahead. Don't think too much.
All right, Norman.
I think yeah, passion is very important. I think from my failed experience, you need to do something you're very passionate about, and don't be afraid to disrupt a traditional industry. There are lots of traditional industries in Hong Kong, and so this is one where we looked at the traditional industry and tried to come up with ways to disrupt it.
Thank you very much. So as I say that, you always learn something new every day. So I do learn a lot from all three of you. And let's give a round of applause to all the speakers, Eric, Ellen, and Norman. Thank you for sharing your mastermind and your insights with us this morning. Thank you very much.